Good evening from New York. Happy Friday. I'm Chris Hayes. By now, you have probably seen images of the president pointedly not wearing a mask. Here he is in the Rose Garden today, maskless, while Dr. Deborah Birx and Dr. Anthony Fauci wore masks behind him. Here he is yesterday without a mask at a Pennsylvania medical supply company where just about everyone else had a mask on, for obvious reasons. And you can see the president just does not think masks are for him. He reportedly dislikes masks and thinks they suggest weakness.
I just don't want to wear one myself. It's a recommendation. They recommend it. I'm feeling good. I don't know. Somehow I don't see it for myself. I won't be doing it personally. It's a recommendation. Okay.
You might have noticed also that not wearing a mask has sort of become a weird kind of culture war virtue signaling by Trump people. Like Congressman Louis Gohmert of Texas, who was seen on the House floor today, sitting in the back of the chamber and chatting with colleagues without wearing a mask. Or the people at the right-wing Open Up America rallies, like this one yesterday in Minnesota. Or the people who crowded into this Wisconsin bar right after the state Supreme Court struck down their stay-at-home order to celebrate. Or the guy that Trump actually retweeted attacking the, quote, commies in blue states and saying that people in Florida are all out at bars having a good time without masks on. Here's the thing. These people are, as we stress on the show often, very much the minority. Right now, it remains the case. America continues to be sort of amazingly unified in the polling in wanting to go slowly and cautiously to make sure we have the virus under control as we try to reopen. And as for masks, in a recent poll, 81% of Americans say workers at open businesses should be required to wear them. 76% say customers should be required to wear masks as well. But for Donald Trump's own stated aims, for the stated aims of those protesters and all the right-wingers out there who think they are the ones, the vanguard of opening up America and getting American capitalism cracking again, there is nothing stupider, nothing more counterproductive you can do than turn not wearing a mask into some right-wing badge of honor. The way that Rush Limbaugh did today when he mocked Dr. Fauci for wearing a mask at a White House event. Because the mask is your friend, Donald Trump, Rush Limbaugh, protesters. If the stated goal here is to open up the American economy, get people back to work, achieve some level of normalcy, something that we all desperately want, there is really good evidence that everyone wearing a mask can really help us in that project. Hong Kong, which is doing incredibly well, is telling the world that masks work. It has had only 4 known deaths total from the coronavirus. And people there have been able to continue to live their lives and do things like ride the subway and go to crowded restaurants. You see, they all wear masks there. They started masking immediately when the virus started emerging from Wuhan. Because the main way we know this virus is being transmitted is from droplets that are coming out of people's mouths when they talk and when they yell and when they sing and when they cough and when they breathe. And so if you wear a mask, you help keep those droplets away from other people, which is key because a lot of the transmission is asymptomatic. You don't know you're sick. And there's another way to explain it, actually, which was in a meme that went viral, you might have seen, even tweeted out by the Philadelphia Department of Public Health. Here it is, quote, if we all run around naked and someone pees on you, you get wet right away. If you are wearing pants, some of the pee will get through, but not as much, so you're better protected. But if the guy who pees also is wearing pants, the pee stays with him, and you do not get wet. It's a pretty good way of putting it. Now, let me just say, I get why people do not want to wear a mask. I personally don't like wearing one. In case you haven't noticed, I wear glasses. It fogs up my glasses. I'm walking around in a fog haze. I'm also a little claustrophobic. I find it kind of claustrophobic, kind of annoying. But you know what? So what? In the grand scheme of things. I mean, right now, we are facing a pandemic that has ravaged everyone's life, the country. It's killed 88,000 of our fellow citizens. It's shut down half the world. 35 million people are unemployed. We're all homeschooling our kids and not leaving the house. We're reckoning with all these terrible policy choices, agonizing. Should we open schools or not? And all these choices, they have these huge costs and sort of competing interests on either side, no matter what we do. The easiest, lowest hanging fruit to make things at least somewhat better, the smallest, most trivial thing is, let's all wear masks, right? We have seen culture wars waged against simple safety measures before. This is not new. There are people who are against things like seatbelt laws, which we all now take for granted, and we also know saved countless lives. We saw the same thing with protests against laws requiring motorcyclists to wear helmets.
I don't think it's the government's responsibility to take care of me. It's my job.
While riding helmetless may be reckless, it's a symbol of personal freedom, which bikers in California say is another freedom lost.
What will it be next? No blondes in a convertible?
There was a time when people thought helmet laws and seatbelt requirements and laws against smoking in indoor spaces was just insane tyranny.
Smokers are either resigned or resentful.
Now everybody's worried about, a little bit of smoke around the office.
I've been smoking for 35 years. If it was that bad, I'd be dead already.
In fact, there were even protests against masks during the 1918 flu pandemic. An anti-mask league that denounced a mandatory mask ordinance in San Francisco. It's a real thing. So this is not new. We've seen it all before. But a huge part of the answer to the question of how much we can get back to normal and how quickly is going to be our own behavioral changes, not just government policy, not just the trajectory of the virus, what we do. And that means masks. It's bad enough the president has failed at solving the problem, that he's declared bankruptcy on even trying. But I can think of nothing more pernicious, nothing more stupid than actively spreading propaganda to make the problem worse.